Good evening and welcome to The Entrepreneurs. I'm Alishia Naidoo. How often have you said, I wish there was a service that catered for this? Or why couldn't someone come up with a way to understand that? Oh, I know, I've asked those questions a million times, and on tonight's show, we have three women who spotted the gap, asked the questions, and then got up and actually did something about it. And they're now reaping the benefits of their success. We chat to them about their ideas, their challenges, and tips on getting it right. But first, well, with me in studio now, two ladies who've jacked into their market, now running very successful businesses of their own. Angel Jones, co-founder of and creative director at Morris Jones, and which is one of South Africa's leading advertising agencies in growth and creativity in 2006, and Renay, Witt, co-founder of Ngage Public Relations. Thanks for Renay. On the opposite to that, you actually found the gap in the market and then ran with your idea. Run us through your story.
We did. I was actually on the other side of the field. I was a journalist for Mining Weekly and Engineering News. I was a journalist for 5 years, and I actually realized that gap, receiving the press releases that PR companies were sending me. I just realized that the quality of the press releases that I was receiving was very poor. And I saw there was a very big gap in that market, purely because it's very technical and it's a very difficult industry to understand. If you haven't actually written for a mining or engineering publication, it's very difficult to grasp, the technical aspects of the industry. And from there, I realized that gap. I was a journalist. I didn't have any business sense or any idea of how to put it together. My partner, Russell Tandy, he came in from the business side. We used my contacts that we had when I was a journalist, and we put them both together, and we really have filled that gap. It's also a very conservative industry, which was very difficult for us, being 20-something professionals coming into the industry. We really had to prove ourselves to the people in the industry, but our track record now speaks for itself.
Renay, Angel, on the back of that then, with both of these very different experiences, do you find the gap or create the gap?
It's an excellent question. I think obviously there always has to be a gap. From our point of view, clients always need great work that delivers on great human insights and is results driven, people thinking on the ground. It's very, very hard though in a completely flooded market where there is no need to create it. I think obviously with us there was that desire from clients for much more hands-on attention.
If we look at the South African environment at the moment, what kind of opportunities opening themselves up for entrepreneurs?
Millions. Thousands. We look at South Africa as the gateway to the continent.
Renay, the sectors that come to mind for you?
I would say, especially for female entrepreneurs, I would say the mining and engineering and even construction
industry. Which is surprising. I mean, that's an industry that wouldn't actually come to your mind.
Definitely not. There's certain regulations that have been put in place that are enforcing them to bring more female employees into those types of industries. And I think the mindset is slowly changing, and they're accepting women a lot more. It is more difficult to start with, but there are a lot of gaps for women
and I would imagine tourism in the country, definitely construction, which you mentioned. IT, there's a lot of need there. Obviously in the whole medical field, we know how many people are leaving the country. We actually doing a lot of projects to bring South Africans home. But there is a skills shortage, and if you can fill those many gaps, there are plenty of opportunities.
So both of you now in the industry of selling, PR, advertising, women entrepreneurs entering the arena with new ideas. It's something new. How do you even begin selling this new idea that actually nobody understands? It's actually my next question. How important is networking and the ability for an entrepreneur, women entrepreneurs, to be able to network in order to build themselves up?
I think it's very important. I think females generally are better at networking than men. I think networking is important, as well as your contacts that you build up along the way. Even as young people starting in the industry, you'll understand later on how important those contacts are. Every card that you receive, keep that, and you will use it later on.
And that was actually your strength. It was the positive that you brought into the business.
It definitely was. And I think if you are looking at opening up your own company or trying to sell a product, you have to realize how important your selling skills need to be. You either need to be a strong salesperson or you need to have a partner who is strong at sales.
Exactly. You should pick your own strength.
Because that's the thing with an entrepreneur. Could be sitting at home now thinking, well, what happens if I don't have the networking skills? Is it all doom and gloom? Not necessarily.
Indeed. where we were very lucky, I'm more the creative side, and Nina Morris is the managing director. So her job was to go and find all the new clients. My job was to get all the creativity going. And her strength was definitely much more networking, sealing the deal, while I was actually creating the work. So if you pick your strengths, it's hard just to do it as only one. Although females are brilliant at multitasking, I must just say.
So in small businesses, everything you do has got to be sustainable. So Angel, how important is it for entrepreneurs, once you're up and running, to continue looking for those gaps?
Absolutely. I think you need to decide, am I brilliant at this, then I need to always do that, or can I become more diverse? And there is a danger in thinking, well, I'm going to try this, then you go away from your core skills. So I think you certainly need to maintain that. Where I personally have found such a benefit of keeping the sustainability up is networking with other entrepreneurs, and I'm part of the EO organization, the entrepreneur organization, where literally entrepreneurs meet once a month, and you share your learnings, and it's in a confidential space. And because it's lonely at the top, it's lonely all on your own, just thinking, what should I do? So certainly the sustainability comes with that sharing and that networking.
And Renay, if you can bring in your experience here, definitely one lesson that you've learned is being focused.
Definitely. We've actually gone in the opposite direction. We started being more diverse, and we actually had an energy company, for example, on our list of clients. And we found specializing in mining and engineering really cut out a lot of our competitors. That's what makes us unique and makes us so good at what we do. We learn to know our trade publications. We have very good relationships with them, and it really makes us special. So for us, I don't think we will be diversifying. I think we're going to be just pushing on and finding more opportunities for our clients in the market that we're in.
No matter how calculated, though, it's always risky business entering that arena. How important, or what importance do you place on business plans in entering the business here?
I think business plans, I've come to learn that business plans are very important. When I entered into the market, as I said, I had no business sense. Russell explained to me the importance of a business plan, and the first thing we did was sit down, put together a business plan, and I think as important as a business plan is working out your potential clients. I don't think you should enter a market unless you can think of at least 100 clients that you could target. I also think what's very important is writing your own business plan. You could ask people for help with that, but I think if you can't sell your business yourself, other people are never going to buy into it. And I think that's very important.
And the first person you've got to sell it to is the banks that are scattered here. But at the same time, I've heard that, it's no use having a plan and then sticking to it and having it cast in stone. So how flexible do you have to be?
I don't know if there's one business plan out there which is actually just happened, as it were. I think what it does is it gets your mind absolutely focused, and you think about all aspects of the business, and you have your vision going forward. But very, very often, as you start, you're hit by so many unknowns, and your original strategy does get blown. But I think that discipline of putting it down on paper is absolutely vital to make sure you've thought about all the things before.
Now, you're involved with the EO, organization. What's their involvement with women entrepreneurs in the country?
They are they're an international organization. The South African chapter started here about a year and a half ago. We've only got 3 female members, so I'd love you to come and join us. The basis of it is that there is this foundation where we learn, we get amazing insights from different entrepreneurs who've made it, really who are sort of in their 50s and 60s and multi-billionaires who own islands, and we have sort of private sessions with them and coaching. Very much as well the mentoring and the grassroots encouraging of other entrepreneurs. But the most important thing is this ability to share your learnings in a confidential space, because very often you're sitting there with your business, it's either you and your partner or you on your own. Who do you bounce ideas off? You can't really go to your staff. So to have other entrepreneurs who've gone through those things and, well, when I had a cash flow crisis, this is how I managed it, or when I had a staff issue, this is how I did it, is absolutely invaluable learning. That's what EO gives me, without a doubt.
And then just to wrap up, because we've got literally 30 seconds left, just your advice to other entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs out there watching the show.
I just think never give up. You have to keep trying again. If you try something and it doesn't work, don't let it put you off starting another company, because you're going to find what's right for you, and keep pushing on what you're passionate about. Eventually we'll get there if you're passionate enough.
Well, ladies, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us in studio this evening.